You've come probably during a bad time. It's gonna be hot like this until I want to say it was even like Halloween. I think was that last year where it was still it stays hot.
Someone said it was about 118 this time last year, so this is much cooler.
It is much cooler.
This makes me
But it is it's really hot, so I'm sure it's quite an adjustment for you. How are you doing? I know that you're in Australia now, full time.
I mean, transiting from there. It's sort of funny, you know, like we base back there now and travel from there instead of
Yeah. So you came from there to come here, right? About a 15-hour ahead of us. Are you jet lagged right now? You feeling okay?
Not really. I did it a few weeks ago, and we travel a lot. I don't actually mind that flight because it's non-stop and it's like 14 hours, so it's time to watch a movie, eat, and sleep.
And you get the lay flat seats, hopefully, so that you can.
No, that's lay flat. Unless someone's flying, those seats are like $20,000. They're like ridiculous.
I know they are.
Yeah. And like, I would much rather spend that on something else in my life.
Hey, I understand completely.
And I'm little too, so I have an advantage of not being. If I was very tall, it would be trickier.
I was gonna say I was doing some research. I think you and I are about the same height. I'm 5. Well, I got a boot on right now. I'm about 5'2 3/4. I claim those quarters.
5'2 1/2.
You see?
Got quarter.
The shorties club. Well, how long were you in town for then?
Just till tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when did you come in?
When did we get in? Friday? Yeah.
Okay, so it's a quick in and out.
It's a quick in and out. Going to Manhattan for a few days for some work stuff and to see some friends, and then off to Atlantic
Okay.
Another convention, which I've never been there. Has anyone been there? It's apparently Vegas on the beach.
I have not been there either.
So.
Well, it sounds like it. So you sounds like kind of doing some con hopping right now. I was gonna say, are you
con hopping and some other work and meetings and
Yeah, I know how that goes. Are you here by yourself? Are you here with your family this time?
I am here just with one of my little kids, one of my 11-month-old, and my mother-in-law who is in California has met up with me to baby wrangle.
No, I understand. I was actually going to ask that. I was like, because you're in Australia now and, you come this way, whenever you do come back, do you have your list of things like, okay, now that I'm in the States, I got to make sure I do this, this, and this?
Oh, 100%. Or like Target runs or...
Target.
Not that we don't
They don't have Target?
No, we do. It's just different. It's a superstore here, right? It's mainly just... Kmart bought Target in Australia about 10 years ago.
Oh.
So everything is the same. Like Enco brand. Is there Enco brand here? I think Kmart here is not.
Enco.
Not Kmart over there is like actually really nice.
Really?
It's interesting. It's the same stuff as Target. They're saying like Enco brand, and then they have Target has their own clothing line. Kmart clothing's not as expensive. But yeah, there's stuff. But I mean, at the same time, when we were here, we'd always be traveling for work anyway. None of my shows really shot. I think I did like 3 jobs in California. So I was living there, but not really.
Understood. And actually, I was going to say, I know, because of course I'm going to research you before I talk with you. I know you're a foodie, you're a traveler. So knowing that you were coming here to Austin, Texas, did you take some time to be like, okay, I know I'm going to be in town. I should check out this restaurant or this place and this place. Is there anyone?
I did.
All right, so where are you going?
Well, no, I was too tired.
Oh, no.
I was going to last night, and I can't remember the name of it. It was Mexican. I can't remember what it was called.
Okay.
But no, I got done here, and I was like, I'm just gonna walk across the street.
Get something quick.
Yeah.
No, I understand that.
Do you have a favorite restaurant here?
I mean, the Texas is, we're known for barbecue. So
local, though?
I am local. I mean, but I am from Los Angeles. I've been here for about 3.5 years now. But I was doing some research. I was like, well, if you have some time, there's a good tapas place that I've heard of called El Raval. Are you vegetarian or do you eat more? Yeah. Instagram, you can get a lot of information about somebody from Instagram.
Too much information.
It's kind of scary sometimes. But I was like, maybe if she needs a suggestion, I'll send her that. There's Spanish tapas, so tapas style. And they did have some really good vegan options and vegetarian options. And
sweet.
you know the nature of tapas, it's like you get a whole bunch of stuff and you kind of eat a little bit.
Yum,
So
yum.
maybe for another time.
Yes, or maybe tonight.
Oh, or maybe, if you're feeling adventurous later today.
I know.
I know I want to get into, talking about, why everyone's here, to talk about what you've been in. But I just want to ask, because I do know you are in Australia now. You moved there in 2021, if I was doing my research right. You were going to be joining an Australian production there, True Colors, correct? And that was your first time going back there pretty much in like 20 years, if I saw, because you had moved here when you were 18 for Roswell, but here to the States.
I just turned 18.
Yeah.
I mean, I would go back. I didn't live there. I would go back to start with twice a year, and then my mum would be coming out because I was so young. She'd be there like half the year in LA. So it wasn't like I sort of on my own. And I didn't think I was moving either. Roswell was, as maybe some of you know, it was only going to be a few episodes initially, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, probably be going home and then trying to come back out. Whatever, but I'd go back frequently.
Okay.
So now it's just.
But now it's like you're there.
Yeah.
So I mean,
got lots of frequent fireworks.
I can imagine so. So you can get in some, R&R traveling when it's all said and done. But how has it been adjusting from being in Los Angeles? So again, I'm from Los Angeles. I know that hustle and bustle life. To being in Australia is I'm sure it's a bit of a shift in flow and change.
It is, but I think it changed more. I mean, just obviously living somewhere, yes, but also having kids just changed the places I go and the things I did so much as well.
I can imagine.
We were living in the valley at the end, and it was more about hiking and going to the parks and
In the valley in
LA.
Okay,
Yeah.
like the San Fernando Valley.
Yeah.
The A18. That's where I was born and raised. So yeah, I get that.
But I don't know. I mean, we're in more of a rural area, which is nice for kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I like both, but that's the beauty, I guess, of being able to travel for work and do all these things and going to all these cool places.
Yeah.
So it's good.
All right. Well, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Y'all ready? Let's get into it. So, Miss Emilie, obviously you've been in some pretty huge things, I would say. Roswell, I remember Roswell. That was huge, Lost. Everyone remembers Lost? That was awesome. Loved your character, by the way. And I heard that they're doing a documentary on Lost that's supposedly coming out soon.
Yeah, they, I think they got nearly everyone. I did it, and I think most people have. I don't know. Maybe Matthew did it. But I think everyone, they got JoJo, they got all the parts. It's really cool, yeah. Lovely group of people who.
I think it's supposed to come out in September, so if anyone didn't know,
it's coming back. It's coming out. I think premieres on the anniversary, the 20 years. Isn't it
20 years.
20 years since the pilot episode. Yeah.
Wow. How does that feel? Like 20
makes me feel old.
All right.
I left my walkie stick.
Oh Lord, come on now.
No, it does not seem 20 years. I mean, it seems not yesterday, but time just.
The sense of time, I feel like as you get older, it flows interesting.
It's warped.
It kind of gets lost, you kind of get lost in that. Sorry, I know. I'm trying to crack a funny. Okay. And then, of course, you were in Remember Me with Robert Pattinson. That was a good movie. But I'm a horror gal, so I know that you were in The Hills Have Eyes. So what was it like filming that? That's a classic. I think so. Do you want to speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, well, it's a job I almost didn't do because I'm not a big remake fan. I kind of am one to be like, look, if something's good, just leave it alone. Watch it again. Right?
So when you were approached.
And so I initially was like, no, they kept calling to meet. I'm like, how meet with the guy? I met with Alexander, the director, and he had such an interesting visual take on it, and the cast was really cool and very talented people. So yeah, and I think he did I think it's one of the rare ones, at least for me, that I think they did something different enough with it and something unique and modernized enough that it was. It made sense that they did it. It wasn't just like, you watch some remakes and like, why did they do that?
Yeah.
Why? What's the point? You're literally doing the same thing with different people, and now they have cell phones.
Yeah.
Cool. But, yeah.
And Ted Levine, how was it working with him?
He's lovely.
Yeah.
That was a tough shoot though. It was
imagine.
It was in a good way for the subject of it, but we were in Marrakesh. No, we were not in Marrakesh. That's an absolute lie. We were in Ouarzazate. I went to in Morocco. Sandstorms. We had to stop for every few hours because you couldn't see. Very hot, dusty.
Okay.
But looked super cool. I know it's not perfect, but
Yeah,
light, happy, fluffy subject matter.
I mean, I like, The Hills Have Eyes. It kind of sounds like are you a horror fan?
I'm not if it's just horror.
Oh.
If there is a good story with something, then yeah. But no, not if it is scare tactic only. Like
Okay.
I'm not a Saw fan.
No Saw.
No Saw. I mean, I get it. No discredit to the movies or to the films, but yeah, I like something to have a narrative as well.
Okay. Do you see yourself acting in a horror movie in the future? Or another one?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So we'll have to stay tuned for that one. And then, of course, we all know her from Once Upon a Time as well with your character, Belle. I see she's been ready. Woo! Yes, the reoccurring role of Belle. And so I want to say, I would consider you an elder millennial. Did you grow up watching Disney movies and Beauty and the Beast and all that?
I didn't. Well, that's not true. I watched Disney, but they weren't animated. I didn't grow up watching animation. I much preferred live action. So it was Mary Poppins or Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. I think that Aladdin because Aladdin came out when I was a kid. That was one of the only movies that I watched. I think as I haven't seen Beauty and the Beast when I did this show.
Well, that was actually what I was going to ask you. I want to say, so when you were approached about Belle, what was your reaction to okay, me to be Belle? Did you see the movie? Did you have to watch it?
No, I asked, because Adam and Eddie just called me in to say, do you want it? They did last episodes and I just wanted to see if I wanted to do one episode, and I was like, oh yeah, I love Robert, blah blah blah, I love you guys, I'd love to do it. And I asked if I should watch it, and they're like, no, not if you don't want to, because they wanted everyone to bring their own to these characters. They didn't want anyone to, except Elsa. There was some Disney thing. Elsa was a very specific. I'm good friends with Georgina Hay, and who was Elsa, and she said, oh my god, every word, if she was getting it slightly off, or I think she's the only one that didn't accent too, because she's Aussie. And she didn't. But apart from that character, they let us have a pretty nice flexibility with what we wanted to bring to the character. So that was cool. I did watch it at some point, season 2.
Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty awesome. And I was looking at your IMDb, and you have a pretty good mix of genres of movie, things that you've been in. Is there a certain genre that you haven't touched on yet that you're like, I think I'd like to try that?
I mean, comedy really. I haven't done. There's a couple of shorts that I've done that were really fun. That were smart humor. I mean, no, I'd love to be on something like a Arrested Development or one of those really witty, fun shows. Not a canned show, not a Big Bang Theory or something like that.
Okay.
Smart humor that's I don't know. Arrested Development.
Okay. Well, do you want to share with the folks in the audience what do you have coming up?
Things I can't talk about.
Oh.
No, well, I'm not that they're secretive, but I can't be the one to say.
Of course.
Also, it's just there's things that I would have normally finished and could talk about, but strike and everything has put a lot of stuff on hold, sadly, which is a good thing that they did the strike, but
a lot of things were delayed.
Backlogged a lot of stuff, so now they're all catching up on things that they'd either already put in pre-production before, as you know, before the strike, or things that they've got contracted with people. So it's a bit backlogged, but that's fine. We only just moved back, had the baby, so it's been a good time that I wanted to have a little break, which is actually kind of worked out perfectly after 22 years of just not having it. Was
that's a long stretch of time. So
it's nice to be like, oh, I'm not on a set for a moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I love sets, but it's nice to just.
But I'm sure it's rigorous, and then trying to balance, family and work.
Especially when they're little, that time is so special.
Yeah. I'm not a mom yet, but I hear it goes very quickly, like this.
That's just pregnant.
And well, actually, and we'll get into that a little bit. Let me look at the crowd real quick, because I know that I'm looking at you like this and we're talking. Anybody want to have any questions for Emilie? While right over there. Hey, please stand up.
Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Cindy. So since you kind of put your own spin on Belle and then watched the movie later on, how did you think that the Once Upon a Time Belle compared to the animated Belle? And is there anything that you added in after seeing the movie?
That's a good question. I didn't. I choose much more of a classically a bit more empty in the animated show, which is what they wanted to change and what I wanted to change too. So I don't know. I hope I brought a little bit more strength to her, a little bit more solidarity, even though she's in this relationship she wants to be. She's not being held down. Like, that's her choice. She's a fixer, So she likes to see the good in people. Also, another way of saying that, I reckon, is that you are somebody who likes to fix someone, or bring that out, elevate them emotionally or whatever, which didn't really work with him too well. Just tried to give her a bit more guts and strength, and even though she's quote unquote book smart in the film, she's not really. She's a bit insipid, so I just wanted to toughen her up a bit, I guess, but still keep her soft and endearing, non-judgmental too. Didn't want her to have any sort of preconceived notions. I liked that she was open to sort of most things, and then she would step back and see what she felt. Yes. It's true.
It seems like the writers on Boswell didn't really know what they wanted to do in the second season. Changing the storyline all the time. We'll do this for a show that's supposed to be continuous. That's kind of challenging thing. You're trying to contradict yourself. You do a great job. I say it like the best of sauce bottles twice. How did you feel with that? Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I was so young when I did that. It was my second ever job, and the job before that was a very short-lived job in Australia. It was my first big job, right? So I was still learning and not asking the questions or finding out the intel that I would now on a show, or in the past 15, 20 years. But I don't really know. But I agree with you, and I don't know if it was because they only did 3. Did they finish the 3rd season? On UPN or whatever, yeah. It was such a short run, and then season 2 was on the bubble of getting cancelled, obviously, as you sent in the Tabascos, but... Oh, that was to UPN to get them to take it on, yeah. I don't know either. It was pretty cool. I remember that happening. That was very special, like tiny little bottles of Tabasco sauce they were sending in. And there was a lot. I can't remember the number of how many, but it was really special. It was a big fan favourite show, and I don't know why. I don't know. It's curious to me, shows like that are short-lived but people love. Like, why do they not?
Why do they continue on?
Yeah. And then they do a remake, so why didn't they just keep going? I'm not sure. I wish I had more answers for you. But it was a fun show.
But I think that does bring up a good question. Have you ever considered directing or writing a show or short or bits to...
Yeah, I would. I don't know that I'd want, I suppose, the entree, like the organic entree into sort of dabbling in directing is when you're on a show. So maybe next time, if the next project is a lengthy show, start doing it where, that's what usually people do, right? Because they'll say, okay, you can do an episode and it's with everyone you know, so it's easier, you sort of got your feet, the cast and the crew. No, I would be totally, I think I would be more interested in directing.
Okay.
I would be very specific about the material, but I think directing, I'm interested in it.
Okay. That would be, add that title to your long list of...
I was just going to say, it's so, if you're directing actors, so if you've got a kind of good insight if you've done a lot of work. So,
I would think
it's
so.
not just that, obviously, it's, camera direction and a lot of other things, but I think some directors, I should say, that I've worked with who have been actors or still are actors, have had a really nice insight. And they're not rushing you when it's something that they know might take a bit longer, or it's just a little bit more understanding of where you're at. It's nice.
Well, there's still time, and one day you'll get inspiration, something, will align that your intuition will be like, this is the one, Emily, and you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna give this a try. Anybody have a question before? There's some other stuff I want to bring up. Yeah, it's right there.
What was your favorite scene to film in the show?
Favorite scene. The whole first episode I did. Honestly, I love that episode so much. Mainly I think because you learn so much about their story. It's where their relationship starts. There wasn't. I mean, throughout the whole series, there wasn't that much you learned about Belle's backstory, which is one thing I wish they'd gone into a little bit more, like pre her meeting Rumpelstiltskin. So I don't know. I love that episode. And then I love her dying scene, even though it was terribly hard to do. It was so beautifully written, and Bobby's so good that he's crying so much that I'm like, I'm meant to be at peace. I've got all this prosthetic stuff on, trying not to cry because you don't want to be, you don't cry when you die. I meant to be at peace in my late 80s or whatever I was. No. And the makeup people are like, don't do it. You're gonna have to redo all the.
I know when I see someone cry, I can't help but start crying myself, so I can imagine that.
You're right there, and you're crying.
Goodness gracious. Oh, right in the front.
Emilie, were there ever any plans for Hill Have Eyes Part 2 for yourself to be in it, or any Part 3?
They did another one, didn't they?
There was the sequel, but were there any plans to have you in it at the time?
No, I don't. I mean, no one was in it, were they, from the one I did? I don't think so. No.
No. Any plans for Part 3? Maybe?
Not that I've heard of. But you never know.
Like,
With the blue hat.
Hello.
We were big fans of Lost back in the day, and what made big appeal of the show is early on, so mysterious. Right? They kind of kept us guessing, wondering how much you knew while you were shooting any particular episode, where it was headed. They gave you clues or ever explained it.
It kind of is a good question. It kind of depends on what we were doing. You know, when there were really big, epically secret story points that were, you know, basically if that leaked somehow, it would be kind of shitty. It would really mess up, especially when it's a show that's on air as opposed to just streaming and you're watching it at once. So there were, especially around the finale, of course. We got a red script. I'm like, can't photocopy red. I bet you can still photograph it. So I don't think anyone really leaked anything. We got about 3 different endings to that given to us so that we wouldn't know which one, which I think is a pretty common thing. Because, you know, just in case, even if it's not purposefully leaked, things get thrown in the rubbish. But yeah, it was definitely kept me on my toes. There's so many characters and harder. It was easier if you're a focal part of an episode, right? And you're on in every scene, you know, like a Claire episode. But when you're sort of in, like, you know, a page here and there, which obviously was such a big cast, I wasn't working every day. That was harder because I'm like, wait, who the hell's that? Where? What time zone are we in? It took me like 3 hours to read these damn scripts sometimes. I'm like, good God, I'm a pretty fast reader. In a good way, though. I'd much rather have something that's keeping my brain busy.
Right here.
Hello.
Yeah, I was just going to walk in and bring up the Lost. I just want to ask, growing young and Lost came out, it was literally the biggest thing ever. It was awesome. And so my question is, when you were filming the pilot, did y'all kind of know who it was going to be with, like, even 20 years later with documentaries? Did you kind of have the feeling it was going to be special? Or?
We had it was a really unique, and for everyone in a different way unique, I think. Well, maybe not. But most of us did not have a script. Who signed on blindly to this really cool sounding pilot, right? J.J. Abrams, who we all knew obviously and trusted that it was something that could be really special. Epically, you know, we had a burning half an airplane on the North Shore of Hawaii. You know, it was a pretty epic visually looking show, and we would watch the dailies sometimes, and I mean, it looked stunning. But no, you don't know what an audience, because it was pushing the envelope so much for TV, and really breaking down the, you know, four walls. And do people want that? You know, is that something that people want for, you know, watching at home, or is it more of a movie-esque thing that people want in theaters? But when we all went to JJ's house to watch the pilot before it aired, and I remember us all sitting there going, watching it, being like, oh my god, we were a part of this. This is like really cool. Not that I don't like work I've done too, but when you just kind of goosebumpy of, and the music, Giacchino's music is just made that show so special too. Yeah. But you just got to see Lucky Bugger. I've done a couple of his LA concerts, but I know I wish I could have gone with that one. These two were there.
Anybody else? Anybody? Well, I do want to say you do have something coming up. Your daughter's first birthday is actually at the end of next month. Alice Enid, is that how you pronounce her name? Yeah. So congratulations on that. I know one, yay!
Yay, but I'm also like,
Are you guys doing a party for her?
yeah, but we don't. She doesn't really have any baby friends.
Oh.
She's got one little friend from like prenatal yoga who she hangs out with. But
Prenatal yoga?
Because we now do mummy with yoga together.
Oh
this
my
friend of mine, and they are like 5 days apart. So her and her little friend Jai, they hang out. But yeah, probably just like her and a couple of friends.
Because we know the first birthday party is usually for the parents anyways. It's like gosh, we made it 1 year.
It depends on like here when I was in LA, right? Like my first kid and even my second, I guess I was here too. I had more friends. Not here in LA. I was going to classes more, whether it's yoga or other stuff. And so I already had a lot more better friends. Now most of my friends. Oh, Georgina's got a new baby, so she can come.
Okay.
And then just family. So.
Well, that's always the best kind. I was gonna say she's probably still too young to do like a Peppa Pig or a Bluey. Does she recognize those characters? Is that what she watches?
She met Bluey out there. It was really.
She met Bluey.
I don't know if she recognizes it because she's got older siblings. Because I don't put the TV on for her or give her anything, but by proxy she, sees Bluey. Because who doesn't these days?
Right.
And I don't know if she recognized, but she saw them and she's like, lit up and took some pictures. Could do anything.
Yeah, I mean, you know that
just a
she'll
cute little
like
cake that she can just
smash. They do a smash cake. Is that
do a
what they
smash
call
cake
it?
and then throw it all.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on that, and you'll get some time after all your travels here to go back and enjoy that with your family.
Yeah, a bit of work, a bit of travel, it's good.
Well, we definitely thank you for your time. I know we're winding down to the end. Any last minute questions? This gentleman right here.
Emily, I do have a podcast. 25th anniversary is on October 6th. I would love to get a bunch of people from Black Hospital together to talk about it.
When is the anniversary?
October 6th. That was the first episode last month.
Well, cool. Let me.
We did some chocolate cake and some raspberry sauce on it.
Well, let me know. That sounds cool. We're doing. I'm going. There's this weekend, whatever, however you like to say it. This coming weekend, the con I'm doing has got. Oh God, who's going? Mahandra, Shiri, Brendan, Nick. Is that it, maybe? No, it's Atlantic City. Yeah. So we've never been there. I've never been to a convention with those guys. I haven't seen some of those guys. I know Jason still, and I know Nick still. Nick ironically used to play dodgeball with my partner. But yeah, I haven't seen like Brendan or Alejandra or Shiri for like 2 years.
All right. Well, folks, that is all the time we have with Emily. Emily, just in case there's any folks who don't know who you are, or is not following you already, do you have a website or an Instagram?
I don't have a website. Should I have a website? Sell my wares?
Or she has an Instagram, I'm sure.
I have an Instagram, which is just my name, I think. Yes, it's my name with a underscore after the DE.
Okay. And then, of course, y'all, she does have a table inside the vendor area, just right through these doors right here and to the right. So, y'all, let's give her a round of applause. Thank you for your time. And stay tuned, folks. A lot of other cool panels coming up.
Thank you guys for all the questions, too.
Yeah, y'all.